Bear Racing Live. Yep, I still hear myself. I will never ever figure out the issue here with this one. I also updated the volume mixer on my headset while I was playing around with that last week. Let's do that. How's that working? Hey! So I should be a little bit louder on the stream at least. Whenever I'm watching it back, it looks like I'm just, or it sounds like I'm a little bit quiet. Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Bear Racing Live. I got the little computer over here to monitor the stream. As always, got New York Hockey Rangers on the TV over there muted. No further questions with that one. A lot of rainouts last week, and we only got one race in with the 4 or 5 that were planned. And it looks like gonna have a lot more rainouts this weekend as well. A couple already got canceled, and we'll go over that in a couple minutes when we start with the typical news portion of the live stream. Yeah, you know, as always, if something is not working, feel free to let me know in the chat. But other than that, happy Wednesday once again, boys. Got a brisk iced tea with me this week. Something I really never thought I would have to deal with when doing these live streams, but talking to yourself for like an hour on end actually really dries up the throat. I have a newfound appreciation and respect for like teachers and things like that. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of rainouts this week. A lot of news broke this week as well. 0% chance to make the playoffs. New York Rangers, baby. Oy. All right. Well, like I said, we have a lot of news to go through this week. So let's just jump right into it. So we have our typical, you know, cross flag question. We have the Bear ratings to go over, even though it was only one race, and that one race has highlights posted on YouTube. So we'll check that out together. Then what I initially thought was going to be one of the longer streams of the year so far is probably going to be one of the shorter ones. Anything you have to add, Bill? All right. He's just happy to be here this week. Don't know what happened with the NASCAR race. I saw some bad downforce type shenanigans. I don't know. NASCAR tried to build their own race car, and, you know, shocking, they're not good at it. The news. What do we got? April showers bring May flowers. That's really what I wrote on this, huh? And last week was no shortage of April showers for us Northeast dirt fans. It looks like that theme is going to continue into this upcoming weekend. The Super DIRTcar Series and DIRTcar Northeast have pulled the plug early for the Thunder and Thousand Islands weekend. This includes both the 358 Series show on Friday and the SDS show on Saturday. The forecast is for 4 inches of snow, and to be honest, earlier this week I was looking into potentially camping in my tent for the first time this season, so thank you World Racing Group for keeping me safe from myself. It's worth noting that this event isn't canceled but is postponed, meaning there is plans for this weekend to be made up sometime later on the season. The SDS now turns its attention next weekend and its race at Albany Saratoga Speedway on Friday. I wish I was making that up, but I was going back and forth with myself the last couple weeks. If I should take an off week this week, or if I should maybe get a hotel, or the track offers free camping, take advantage of that for the first time this year. And especially, obviously, everything was rained out last weekend, so I didn't get a chance to go anywhere. 4 inches of snow, though, don't think being in a tent's probably the best idea, even though if you've been around my channel long enough, you'll know I survived 29 degrees at Charlotte in 2023. That was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But yeah, first cancellation for the Super DIRTcar Series this year. And there's probably going to be a lot more coming this week. What do I have next? Let's see, switch this over. One of these days I gotta figure out how to just hit like one button and have all this change for me automatically. But you know, that day is not today. Another announcement came out of the Super Dirt world earlier this week. Todd Root signed on to compete against Stangl for the honors of Rookie of the Year. Root has competed at Brewerton Speedway in 2024, earning 1 top 5 and 4 top 10s in 13 starts. He also made a handful of starts at Land of Legends Speedway, as well as a few in the SDS Super DIRTcar Series competition at Weedsport, Land of Legends Fulton, and Oswego. This announcement brings the full-time field up to an even 20 drivers, and I wish I kind of wrote more about the 20 drivers thing, because they only start 24 to 28 drivers at any given race. So to have 20 full-time drivers, that's mental, man. There's going to be genuine championship contenders and guys who are fighting for like midfield, you know, like the 10th to 15th range in a position, not make a show because all of the provisionals were used up already. Todd Root, I believe, is the son of Kevin Root. Definitely related. I'm not sure off the top of my head if he is the son or not, but you might remember Kevin Root a few years ago actually competed in the Super DIRTcar Series tour, and then made the announcement that he was stepping away driving full-time for Todd to get his feet wet a little more and making more prestigious starts in modifieds. But yeah, we now have a battle for Rookie of the Year. I love a good battle for Rookie of the Year. I have my Felix Waugh Rookie of the Year winning t-shirt on. I remember the Canadian battle with him and Steve Bernier. Last year, Alex Payne obviously blew everyone away and exceeded expectations, and still is doing that right now. I don't know, I love a good Rookie of the Year battle. Okay, what do we have next? This one. Another race has also already been scrapped for the weekend. The Honoring Alex 68 at Utica Rome Speedway's season opener has also been beaten by the Weatherman. Once again, this race is being called postponed and not canceled, meaning they plan to run this race at some point later on this season. The track still plans on having open practice this Tuesday from 6:30 to 9:30. If you're in the area, the grandstands are free to access for fans. While you're there, you can check out the improvements that the track has made to these stands. The track's next planned race is next Friday with the 358s on the grounds. Obviously, when I say plan on making it up, they're planning on making up the Alex... wow, just totally lost my train of thought. The Honoring Alex 68 race. Of course, they're going to have a season opener, but that's the one that they plan on making up. And the small blocks have, is it like 4 or 5 races at the track this year, so they're kicking that off at the racetrack. I have made it to Utica Rome a couple times last year with the it's not the All-Star Circuit of Champions anymore, it's the High Limit Sprint Car Series, and then I did the Working Man's Race both last year, so I've been here a couple times. Didn't really notice anything wrong with the stands, but hey, if they're making improvements, absolutely, that's what we want. That means the tracks have money to spend, which is always a good sign for the world of dirt racing. And I'm noticing that the Ranger game isn't starting for another 24 minutes. It was scheduled to start at 10, so, you know, I'd love to see that. we got a couple more news clippings. Like I said, there is a lot of news came out this week, despite all the cancellations and rainouts. The racing community is one big, giant family. We all love and support each other, even if they're direct competitors. One of the best examples of this was announced earlier this week with the cooperation of Afton Motorsports Park and the Penn Can Speedway. Win and you're in is the tagline of this campaign for the 2025 season. All feature winners of any division at Penn Can will receive a free entry to compete at Afton the following night, and vice versa for Afton winners who want to try out Penn Can. This is, I don't know if this is like unprecedented, but these two tracks really don't have anything in common besides proximity to each other, different owners, different managers. One's in Pennsylvania, one's in New York. They both have modifieds, obviously, but to see cooperation of two tracks like this, who I guess aren't technically directly competing with each other, that's awesome to see, and I really hope we get a lot of cross-promotion with teams and drivers, not just in the modified division, but sportsmen. I'm sure there's a street stock division, maybe 4 cylinders. I really don't know, honestly, what the depth of the weekly racing program is at these two places, but I do know they are very they're fan favorites. I've a lot of people I've met in person and talking online through my channel always tell me to check out these two places. Definitely loved, and I love that they're working together, and I really hope to see a lot more of this from other tracks and other areas of the country. But you know, props to these two guys. Keeping racing fun, we're keeping it friendly competition, and might entice someone who's spending a Friday at the Can to go to Afton on Saturday. And what I'm really surprised about, before I move on, this is off the top of my head, the owner of Afton Motorsports Park is also the owner of Thunder Mountain Speedway, which also competes on Saturday, so I'm really surprised to see that Afton kind of went with this deal with Penn Can, especially considering that, you know, sure, Penn Can races on Friday, but I feel like you would want to do that a little more with Thunder Mountain as well in there, not just these two tracks. But I'm not complaining. This is just a really cool thing for the fans, and I'm glad this is happening. Let's see, this one. Last one, which I honestly think is probably the most important one. A few weeks ago, I talked about the passing of small block driver Jason Harrington. It was announced this week that the small block race at Albany-Saratoga, it was announced this week that the first small block race at Albany-Saratoga this year will be dubbed the Flying Farmer 31 in honor of Jason. While Jason mostly competed at Albany's sister track, Lebanon Valley Speedway, he did make 18 starts there and notched 4 top 10s. The race was already received an extra $1,000 worth of sponsorships and bonus money. The race takes place on regular season opening night at the track, April 25th. $15 gets you through the gates at the Great Race Place. Afton and Thunder are not the same promoter. Are you sure? Isn't it like, I don't want to say Ron Ford, but, is it Ron Ford? That ended, okay. So I might have misspoken. Alright. Okay, am I losing stream right now? Are we still live? Because my laptop froze. But my computer here is not saying anything is going wrong. Hi, Brandon. Support your local. Brandon, I will be in Albany for the race next week if you want to meet up. Brandon, college friend, comes to Super DIRTcar Series, Super Dirt Week with me. Are we good now? Laptop, you done? Having a fit? I think we're good. I hope the stream's okay with all that. But I guess it's a good note from Kevin. Afton and Thunder are not the same promoter anymore. Ron Ford at Afton. Spoonhauer at Thunder. That's right. That's right. Man, it's getting hard to keep track of everything. Thank you for correcting me, Kevin. Albany Saratoga Speedway. Yeah, it's awesome to see a track honor another driver like this. And yeah, first regular season race for the track, April, what did I say, 25th? And I'm not joking about $15 gets you through the gates. That track is insane for keeping the cost of admission that low. And I love that track, I'm going to be honest. And as of right now, that there are still no plans for that track to be torn down or anything. There's still some rumors online, but the last official word was that the guy who was planning on buying the track and turning it into apartments was not approved by the town board unless he comes together with some actual like plans and proposals and due dates and things like that. So nothing has been said. Here we go. Albany still racing. 60th anniversary of the Speedway this year. And it all kicks off next weekend with the Super DIRTcar Series and the following weekend with their weekly racing. Last year, Spoonhauer was at Afton, not anymore. Okay. Alright, so that's what I'm thinking. I thought Ron Ford was already with Thunder. Not, okay. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you. Alright, so that's all for the news. Like I said, there was surprisingly a lot already. So what do we... I'm leaning towards traveling to Albany, Saratoga next week. Let's hope for good weather. At least what I've seen so far next weekend is like back to the 70s and like proper spring weather. Let's hope. Kevin, if you see me, come say hi, man. I don't have any with me, but I have little magnets to give out to fans and supporters who like come say hi to me at the track and stuff like that. I was planning on showing off the design I got next week, next Sunday. My 467 subscriber special. 467, obviously, you know, the size of a big block modified engine. We're going to, I got some cool ideas to do some classic race watches together. Things that obviously I wasn't born for, like this week on dirt races, maybe an old Super Dirt Week from the Syracuse Fairgrounds race, maybe an old Eastern States weekend race, maybe some asphalt modified stuff. Haven't pinpointed exactly which ones I want to do yet, but yeah, next Sunday. 467 subscriber special. Let's do the bear rankings. Let's do the cross flags. We'll do the one highlight we have, and then we'll call it an early night. If you don't know, I have come up with an equation that is hopefully the best way to rank drivers based on skill and who they race against. So the one race we have last week was from Big Diamond. 44 small block modifieds signed in, and the first thing I'm going to mention is obviously moving the left-hand pan-hard bar did not hurt the track's attendance in terms of quality of drivers and teams. Honestly, I thought the racing was really good. I didn't notice anything wrong with the car's handling, at least from like watching it on Dirt Track Digest. I thought it was a good race, and Big Diamond Speedway to get 44 cars this early in the field for a one-off event. Congratulations. You guys earned a big old thumbs up from me. Mike Guler obviously took the win here. Has competed already before, which is why he doesn't start with the standard 1000 bear rating. Really not much to say here, just except for the depth of the field. I mean, we got Yankowski. Look at who's finishing mid-pack. Mike Mahaney, Buck Walter, Ryan Watt, Brett Cressley, Billy Pouch Jr., Tyler Dipple, like 20th to 30th. Those are some big names that you would expect to happen that you would expect to finish in those positions in a Super DIRTcar Series race or a Short Track Super Series race, not a weekly race at Big Diamond. So with that, when you average out the week's results, which is just this one, here is the top 40. I don't know why it okay. Oh, why are you... Hold on. I could fix this. I could fix this real quick. Hold on. What if I do this? Okay. Alright. This isn't as going as smooth as I thought it would. Alright, that's good enough. There we go. One-man crew here. Here's your top 40 based on the results from Big Diamond. Mike Gooler, you could see, jumped 24 positions up into 15th with the win. He beat some big talent. He's going to get rewarded for that. I made a tweet after the race ended that Jankowski had the opportunity to jump from 5th to 1st in this ranking with a win. He only finished 12th, so he's only able to jump Dylan Stoyer, and that means the top 3 of Payne, Friesen, and Shepard are still the top 3 going into the week and coming out of it. I also have this new screen because last week it kind of broke the stream for some reason. Here is the weekly leaderboard as well as the highest weekly leaderboard of the track. So Big Diamond, they're the only race that happened last week. Weekly event clocked 10:18.7 average strength of field. And that puts him over Bridgeport and Georgetown, who didn't race last week, but raced the week before. And, yeah, still not much to say. It's early in the season. Things are going to jump around tremendously. Race cars. Crossed flag question. Let's just jump right into that real quick. As always, about halfway through the stream, I ask you guys who should be on the thumbnail for the live stream next week, and if I have a t-shirt to go along with that, I'll display them. Picked up Ryan Godown at New Egypt. That's the second t-shirt I've purchased already this year after Tanner Van Dorn. I don't think you guys can see it on stream, but he has "Work Hard, Race Harder" on the shirt, and I think that's phenomenal. So comments in the chat who you guys want to vote for. If you're watching a replay of the chat, feel free to drop it in the comments section. And as always, let me switch to this screen. And then let me do this. As always, I post an actual poll that you guys can vote on. So, if you want, you guys can technically vote 3 times if you're watching live. Woo. All right. Let's let me kill the background music. Let's jump into the highlights. It's that one, right? Yeah. Again, one race, whatever. It was a good race. Let's watch this race. Again, if volume needs to be raised or lowered, either myself or the clip, feel free to tell me. Otherwise, let's sit back. If you didn't watch these highlights yet, or you didn't watch it live, enjoy this one. It was a good one. I think it was 28 cars they started, actually, for the feature. I said this a lot last year. I think Mahaney's small block program is a lot better than his big block program. Obviously, he picked up the championship at Airborne last week. This race is a small block race. Whatever he does to that 358, I don't know why it doesn't work for his big block, but he's got that program hooked up. And if he's ever able to transfer it to his big block program, he's absolutely going to be a force to be reckoned with. His small block car is just that good. You were at this race? How was it? How was the fan atmosphere? This is absolutely a track I have to get to at some point. Just like Penn Can, a lot of people have recommended me this place.
Shooting up and over the berm over there on the backstretch. They are on the throttle. Here they come. The whole field charging on a corner number 4 with Mahaney once again leading the pack. Fitzpatrick doing a great job. It's second down. Creighton will muscle his way by.
Ryan Creighton definitely needed a good finish this race. I want to say struggled so far this year, but he definitely hasn't been up to the front of races like he normally is. Yeah, I mean, we got 2 3-wide racing in the mid-pack. Nothing wrong with the left-hand panhard bars. Or I guess the subtraction of the left-hand panhard bars. Yeah, it definitely looked crowded in the broadcast here. Love to see it this early in the season, cold weather. Oh! There's your leader. Your leader's out. I didn't see any post or anything from Mahaney's team about why he fell off the lead. If he did, it didn't just show up in my feed. So I don't know why he pulled off there, but to lead more than half the race and come out with a DNF, that's gotta hurt. Mike Guler supporting the number 53 this season instead of his normal number 2. I think the announcer said it was for in honor of his father? Or his car owner's father, something like that. But family name, or family number, back in victory lane at Big Diamond. I just pushed the wrong one. We getting driver interviews? Oh wait, no, they didn't have victory lane. Because, like, 30 seconds after the checkered flag, the skies opened up and racing was canceled for the night, the remaining race. Timed it perfectly, the track promoters did. I hit the wrong button again. Golly. Yeah. No fun or interesting comments, it looks like. Yeah, I thought it was a good race. I thought it was fine. Like I said, I bought the Dirt Track Digest pass for the night. Made a bucket of popcorn, watched the race, enjoyed it. Kind of upset I didn't make the drive down, but whatever. Anything else we got before I end this short stream this week? What do we got? We got on tap. So here's so far the scheduled races for modifies that are supposed to be going on this week. Obviously, if you missed the start of the stream, Can-Am is canceled for the weekend due to 4 inches of snow forecasted. Utica Rome canceled due to potential rain. I do expect a lot more of this to end up being canceled, especially Airborne, Outlaw probably. I don't know how the Jersey guys are looking. I don't know how the Southern Pennsylvania guys are looking. Might get lucky with those shows, but as of right now, and the Georgetown, the Delaware, let me not forget them. I think it is Guler's own car now. The 2 he drove for someone else. Gotcha. I liked Guler. I liked him. There was a time where I thought he was gonna like sign on to Super Dirt. Like he was hot back in like, was it 22 or 2021, something like that. Obviously the results haven't followed since. Can't say that. We just watched him win. He's sitting 15th in the Bear rankings. Yeah. Expect a lot more cancellations to come, but if you're willing to get out to some of these tracks, God bless you. If you don't feel like gambling with the weather, Dirt Track Digest has most of it. Diamond State Digital, let's not forget the new streaming service that Georgetown Speedway is using for their non-big races. And then Grandview and Outlaw, as far as I know, still don't have a deal or partnership with any streaming service. So if you want to watch those two, you're going to have to show up in person. I mentioned last week I wanted to try to do all of like the track's next races down below on the screen. Didn't have time to get to it. Forgot how many tracks actually run Northeast Modifieds. So I left it with just the winners. And you see below next midweek modified stream, 416, as always on Wednesday. And then I did mention the 467 subscriber special is going to be Sunday, probably around noon, maybe 1 o'clock. And we'll watch some old vintage races from the 80s, 90s, maybe 2000s. Stuff I wasn't born for probably is what we're going to do. So, late 90s and earlier. That's all I got for this stream, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. As always, I see people jumping in and out just to check out what's going on. Hopefully next week we get a longer stream. We can watch more highlights. We have more stuff to talk about. But it looks like we're going to have to fist fight the weatherman for another weekend. Still early on in the season. It is what it is. There's a reason a lot of tracks don't plan races this early, like Accord. The track owner of Accord said he just doesn't want to bother planning anything in April because it always gets rained out. That's all I got. Oop, peek the mic out. Okay. That's all I got for this week. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Join me on Sunday for that subscriber special. If not, I hope you guys plan on supporting some local racing this weekend because, as always, support your local. I still don't have like a